Hey everybody, Rez the Collector here. Today we're going to be doing a review of Wave 17 of the DC Universe Classics collection from Mattel. Now, as most of you know, I typically do not unbox my figures, but I actually did with these. Now I was debating on which way to start this review, and I think I'm going to go with the figures that I least like down to my favorites. So starting at number 1 is going to be the Lex Luthor Orange Lantern figure. Now let's get a closer look at him here. This figure is boring. I mean, they didn't do anything with it. They built what was actually a pretty cool suit of armor and then just made it transparent and painted it orange. I mean, you can see the bearing joints in the arms through the transparent armor, and there's nothing striking about it. I mean, they could have gone with, some highlighting, a little bit of darker orange, a little bit of lighter orange, anything to give this figure some contrast. I mean, it's just extremely bland. I also don't like the fact that with most of the other figures, they're kind of like pointing their rings, whereas he isn't. His hand is just kind of open, and he's just, yeah. Alright, so there's the Luthor figure. He also doesn't like to stand very well. I realize I've got his foot kind of messed up there. And he's kind of, the way they made him, he's just not a good fig. Alright. Next in line is going to be the Wonder Woman Star Sapphire. That was a nice shot of my 2-liter there. She does have her ring pointed out, and like most Wonder Woman figures, she doesn't like to stand very well. Or at least most Wonder Woman figures that I have that are unboxed. Her head doesn't really move because of the hair and the high collar. She did, like Lex Luthor, they both came with lanterns, their respective colored lanterns. She does have a very good paint job on her. The only problem I really have with her is the legs. They're kind of wide set, like she's all ready to take something, and there we go. She does have a lasso, but as you can see there, it's just a plastic mold on the figure. It's not removable in any way. Articulation is good. Articulation on all of these figures is very good. But yeah, she's my second least favorite. Next is going to be the... see if I can move her back a little bit. Next is going to be the Indigo Lantern Atom. Now, while this is a very cool looking figure, I've just never been a huge Atom fan. And I have the Blackest comics, but I've never really sat down and really paid attention reading them. He does not come with a lantern. He comes with this weird blue staff thing, and I'm sure there's a reason for it in the story that I probably glossed over. He does, of course, have his ring, and it is in a fashion that you could show him, like, pointing the ring out. Like I said, he is a cool figure. He's got all these little weird tattoos and some kind of loincloth. Like I've noticed in a few of these figures, the legs are, I don't know if you can see it here, a little odd angled, one of them is. It's the same on the Flash figure. Makes it a little difficult to get them to stand. But he's easier to get to stand than Wonder Woman is. Let's go ahead and move him back. Alright, now let's move into... I guess those would be my bottom 3. Let's move into the figures I really do like. The first one is going to be the Sinestro Corpse Scarecrow. This is a very cool figure. The Scarecrow's face is very frightening looking, I guess. I mean, it's a well sculpted. I do like the jacket look that he's got on here. I like the hat. Again, though, my problem with him is his ring is kind of off there. It doesn't give him a good posability for like he's shooting the ring. But other than that, I mean, it is an extremely cool figure. It's got the typical Sinestro Corps look to it with the kind of pointed lapels almost, I guess, and then it's got, of course, the logo there. But it kept the brownish color scheme with the yellow. I'm sorry, my camera work isn't that great today. Overall, he was actually one that I wasn't too keen on picking up, but after I did pick him up, I was very happy with him. He, of course, also does come with a yellow lantern. Next, excuse me a little bit, is going to be the Blue Lantern Flash. He's another one of those with the legs are just like, I don't know if it's the time spent in the packaging, but you see here the legs are, the one leg there on the right is just a little oddly off. I don't know. It is a very cool take on the Flash. I mean, it's basically the design of a lantern costume, but with the Flash's lightning bolts thrown in. I mean, if you made the color scheme green and changed the logo, and of course changed the mask, it would just be a normal lantern costume. He does have his arm pointed out with his ring, so that you can give him the pose that he's firing his ring off. Excuse me. Overall, he was one of the figures I did want to pick up. Originally, I had only Wonder Woman and the Atom, and then I decided to pick up Flash, and then the next figure we're going to see, and then at that point I had 4 of the 6, and I was like, well, I might as well just finish off the set, because as you probably know, this particular set does have a Build-A-Figure, and that's going to be the last thing that we're going to take a look at, because that is just an actual awesome thing. So there is the Flash. Now the last one we're going to take a look at from the standard 6 set. Now there's a variant of this figure. You can either go with black or white lantern, Hal Jordan. I picked up the black lantern, probably because I do have a lot of black lanterns. I mean, of course, these are the DC collectibles, or I believe DC Direct still at the point these were released. Lanterns, we've got Hawkman and Hawkgirl there, which I don't think I've shown yet. And then things that we have seen previously, the Flash, Wonder Woman, and then the Earth 1 and Earth 2 Superman. The Hawks are very cool. I picked those up very recently. Hawkman and Hawkgirl, very cool. They did go with the zombification there. But I digressed there because we're actually here to look at these figures. So I picked up the Black Lantern version of Hal Jordan. Very cool sculpt. He's got the open mouth screaming. I really like the way they did the costume. They, of course, went with a more standard-looking Hal Jordan instead of the zombified like we saw with the Hawks. And even more so than the Superman and Wonder Woman, he's actually got a flesh tone to him. The paint job on him is amazing. Again, he's got that kind of odd leg thing going on. I don't know if that was with all of them, all the DCUC. My Superman one that I have open from DCUC doesn't do that, but very, very cool figure, and I seem to have lost my music here. The only thing I was disappointed with the Black Lantern, oh hey, there it's back. The Black Lantern Hal Jordan is I'm just going to go ahead and stop the music because that's cutting in and out, is he did not come with a lantern. And I was very disappointed about that. Every other figure had either a lantern or some sort of accessory. Indigo Atom has that staff thing. But yeah, I've got the lantern set up on a little display too, and I really would have liked to have an Indigo Lantern and a Black Lantern to go along with it. But what are you going to do? Alright, and now the piece de resistance, the Build-A-Figure. The Build-A-Figure for Wave 17 in the DCUC was the Anti-Monitor. and he is the reason I unboxed these. If it hadn't been for him, I would have left all of these in package. I'm really glad that I didn't. I'm really glad that I picked up the remaining 2 figures and then opened them all and built him, because he is just awesome. He is obviously, let's put him side by side with Hal. He is obviously a very large figure. He does have a good weight to him. His posability is very good. The sculpt is amazing on him. You can pick him up, just him, on eBay, I think for around $30. So if you don't want to collect the set and you just want to look and just get him, you can pick him up. I had actually thought about not picking up the last 2 figures, the Scarecrow Yellow Lantern and the Lex Luthor Orange Lantern, and just piecing out the last 2 pieces. But for the pricing for the last 2 legs is what comes with those 2 figures. For what I would have paid for them just getting the legs, I actually was able to get the 2 figures with the legs on Amazon. So I figured, why not just pick up the figs, have the whole set, that way I can have all 6 of them displayed with the anti-monitor. You can see here he's got the kind of like lava breaking up in his mouth, the eyes. The cape, of course, is cloth. I do like it when they do that. Very, very cool figure. A lot of posability with him. I like the pose I have him in. This is the classic pose from Crisis on Infinite Earths. A set I do have, and I've got a good majority of them actually signed by George Perez, one of the artists. But yeah, definitely, if you like the anti-monitor, you can pick them up separately. You can pick up all 6 of the figures and go ahead and build him. The most of the figures are very cool. Just really, I mean, the Luthor and the Wonder Woman's kind of blah. And then Adam, I mean, I've never been a huge Adam fan, so, I mean, it's a cool figure. It's just I've not been a huge fan of the character himself. But yeah, I mean, I'm most likely going to pick up the White Lantern Hal Jordan as well, because, as most of you know, I do really like variants. And then I'll most likely just piece out, because he's going to come with the head and lower torso of the anti-monitor, so I'll probably piece that out on eBay. Alright, well, this is going to be the end of the video. As always, if you just come here and check out my other videos, please subscribe, leave a comment. I know this wasn't my best video. There was a lot of jumping around, and I kind of got distracted with the other Black Lanterns. But, yeah, leave a comment, and have a great day.